back once again, our fourth week of Corona, and we are still cooking with Tree, and I have my handy sous chef, Craig.
How y'all doing?
Thanks, and I have all my friends joining me. Hello, everyone. I hope you had a great week.
Hello.
Hello.
So last week, what we fixed?
Black salmon.
Black and salmon. How was that? Was that a hit with your families?
Amazing.
Right on. Great. So this week again, we are doing what we doing?
Chicken meatballs. Or Parmesan
Chicken meatballs. It's a really easy dish, just like every other dish. It takes total half an hour, so it doesn't take a lot out of your life, out of your time. Really tasty, and for those ketoers, really low carb, keto friendly, and I'll tell you two different variations. So I'll put the ingredient list, but within the ingredients, instead of using breadcrumbs, you can substitute those breadcrumbs for pork skins, and all you do is grind those up in a blender, or you can put them in a freezer bag or a sandwich bag and smash them up and substitute that for breadcrumbs, and you'll be totally keto safe. I do 30 keto, so I'm using the breadcrumbs because that's my little carb treat for the day. Besides the cake that we got today at the cake bar.
That you wanted. I don't want no cake.
Okay, so guilty. I'm guilty. I've only gained a pound since Corona, so I think I deserve that treat. Who knows? So let's get started. So again, today we are doing chicken Parmesan meatballs. So let's go over the list of ingredients again. You have your, hold that up for me, your ground chicken. Parmesan. Your garlic, parsley, breadcrumbs or pork rinds, ground up if you're going keto safe. Don't tilt this one over. And our spices. Can you see that there at all? All right, there we go. And your mozzarella, forgot about her. You cannot forget the star of the show, the mozzarella. One pound of your ground chicken breast. And sometimes it's kind of hard to find ground chicken breast. So what I do, I have done in the past, is I prefer chicken breast, but you can just take any piece of chicken you prefer, boneless, skinless, and put it on your cutting board and just chop it up until there's no life left in it. And if you can grind it up yourself, or if you have your own meat grinder, you can do that. So I was lucky enough this time to find ground chicken, so I do have ground chicken breasts. Chicken breasts are usually a little drier than dark meat, but I prefer white meat when I cook. So sometimes you may have to add a little fat content to it, and that's what our Parmesan cheese will do. It'll offset and give it a little fat content. So you don't have to worry about it not molding or sticking together, and we'll have an egg in there that'll keep it bound together as well. So you're gonna take your ground chicken and 4 cloves of garlic. And like I've discussed before, I'm a garlic fiend, so I use a lot more than 4. And in there, I have fresh and jarred minced garlic. Gonna do 2 tablespoons of dried parsley. Charnel?
So since I'm doubling my recipe and I have 2 pounds, well, actually I have 2.5 pounds of ground turkey. I couldn't find chicken. Mm-hmm. So am I just doubling all of my ingredients?
Double all your ingredients.
So how many eggs will I need to bind it? 1 or 2?
Just 2. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So can you just run by the ingredients one more time, please?
I sure will, and we'll go over the whole list as soon as we go on the bowl. You'll have, so Charnel's gonna do 2 pounds, and yes, you can use ground turkey as well, or if you can mix turkey chicken together. You're doing 1 pound of your ground turkey or chicken, 4 cloves of garlic. Charnel's gonna do 8. 2 tablespoons of dried parsley, and Here's a secret. Sometimes when you get the meatballs from the store, they're the soy ones and they lack flavor. And I don't know if anybody remembers Aunt Fee. She was the cook from the hood, if you will. She passed away, I think a couple years ago, but she had a saying that parsley makes everything taste good. And it really does bring out flavor. When you're making meatballs, I always use dried parsley because I think it brings out a better flavor once you put it in the ingredients. But even when a recipe calls for 1 or 2, I'll always add a little more. So I'm telling you 2, but I'm adding like 3. So you put your dried parsley in, and we're gonna throw in some black pepper and salt, or season to taste. So in addition to that, I'm going to add, I found in the back of my cabinet because of Corona, you know, I haven't been out in the grocery store, some minced onions. So you can do some dried minced onions if you have that, or whatever your favorite seasonings are. But so I'm gonna do a little dried minced onions, a little salt and pepper, and of course my Tony's. I always use Tony's. And because I like spicy, I'm adding a little bit of red pepper flakes in here. You're gonna add in 1 egg. Charnel's gonna add in 2. Let's take a pause. Let's preheat our oven to 400, so that's getting warm while we're doing this part. So we have in our chicken, we have our breadcrumbs, we have our parsley. We don't have our breadcrumbs yet, sorry. We're gonna add in our breadcrumbs. You have 1 pound of ground chicken, 4 garlic cloves, 2 tablespoons of dried parsley, half a cup of breadcrumbs or the pork skins if you're going keto, and 1/4 cup of the grated Parmesan. And you want to go ahead and add your Parmesan in there. The rest of the seasoning. Now your binding agent is your egg along with your breadcrumbs. Again, Charnel's doing double the batch, so she's gonna do 2 eggs, but we're only gonna do 1 egg. Once you've got that all in your bowl, you just wanna mix your mixture up. Get your hands in there and grind it all up, mix all those goodies together. Now you're gonna roll your meatballs. I like mine in cocktail meatball size, sometimes a little larger, but not too big. So I'll show you. I get a ball about like that size. And you just get to rolling. And I think my sous chef is gonna come help me roll some.
Trina, approximately how many meatballs will you make out of the 1 pound?
You know, when I make this recipe, it usually serves about, it can get me and my husband a full dinner, and he has a hearty appetite.
Hey.
And it takes care of us, and we have leftovers for the next day. So I would say a family of 4, 3 to 4, you'd be fine unless you have a house full of teenage boys.
And you're doing about how many meatballs out of your 1 pound? Is
So
it like
out of the 1 pound, we'll get, let's see, pressure. About 24 meatballs.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna check on my oven really quick, and I'm gonna turn my stove onto medium high. And as I've said before, you guys know my favorite pans, the Calphalon, because I could stick it right in the oven, because these meatballs, we're gonna start off in the skillet and then they're going in the oven. So I'm using a pan that has a metal handle, and I could use one pan. I don't have to worry about using two. So we're on medium high over there. And one thing we always discuss that I neglected, the most important thing about any meal you cook, is what wine goes with that meal. So we're going with the Cabernet. Cheers.
Cheers.
Now don't drink too much while you're cooking, because then you have too much fun and you won't get it done. Cheers. Teresa was ready.
All right.
Candace is usually ready, but she's off camera right now. So while all right, Tish, all right, Shar. See, you guys came prepared today. Right on. So while your shoe self entertains you really quick, I'm gonna grab olive oil, and we're gonna put 1 tablespoon of olive oil into our pan to get that warmed up so that we can throw our meatballs in there for me. Next, we're gonna add our meatballs over into our pan. Okay. Fine. And you want to cook these in your pan for about 5 minutes. We're just gonna brown them on all sides just to get them a little brown, because the cooking process is actually gonna take place in the oven. Tish mentioned she only had 15, hers are probably larger. It doesn't matter what size you do. Again, I prefer mine cocktail size. Some people like larger meatballs. The larger you get, the longer you're gonna have to cook them, because it's gonna take longer to bake that all the way through, because you don't wanna eat too much. Anytime you prepare chicken internally, it should be at least 160 to 165 degrees. And that will be ground chicken included, because you don't want to get salmonella poisoning. My oven just said hello, it's ready. And can you all see it starting to get a little brown on the sides? Okay. So those are pretty brown all the way around, and that's what you want, is just a nice little crust, brown crust all the way around your meatball. So we're going to transfer this over to keep those moving so they don't burn on one side. You want an even brown all the way around. So I see a few of these are ready to come out, but not my assistant's one. We're going to leave his in a little bit longer. I appreciate you a lot.
My meatballs really turn out better than yours.
Okay. Let that be your story. Stick to that. I'm going to turn my heat down to medium low. Take my pan off and let it come down, cool down just a tidbit. And we're going to move to the second part of our recipe. We're grabbing our can of crushed tomatoes and our red pepper flakes. This is where you garlic lovers, you can add a little more garlic, and I'm gonna add a little more garlic to my pan. Gonna put about 2 cloves of garlic in there. And garlic cooks really quick. We're gonna add in our crushed tomatoes. And about a tablespoon or two tablespoons, sorry, of red pepper flakes. If you don't like spicy, you can cut that in half. If you don't like spicy at all, don't add it. I'm a spicy person, so I'm being generous with my red pepper flakes. We're gonna let this just simmer on medium-low so the flavors can kind of marry one another. Because I'm a spice person, I'm also gonna add some fresh ground black pepper. And because I love garlic, I'm gonna add, as I always do, a little garlic powder in there. Right. Now that you've got this all ready to go, we're gonna return our meatballs to the pan. Toss them in there lightly. You don't want them to break up because they're not completely cooked. So now that all your meatballs are tossed in the sauce, you are going to top it with your mozzarella. And just cap it off with some more. We're gonna take this and put this in the oven. We're gonna set our timer for about 10 minutes, and it needs to cook until the chicken meatballs are no longer pink inside, and it'll take about 10 minutes. Now, what do you serve with the meatballs? You can serve pasta, spaghetti noodles, fettuccine, your noodle of choice, but today I'm going to do Alrighty, we're gonna check on our chicken. So as you can probably see, if you're over at your oven, it's bubbling, your cheese is melted. If that's fine with you, you can take them out at this point as long as you think the chicken's done. A good way to do it is to take a cooking thermometer. Stick it into the meatball and see what you come out with. So I've already reached 165 on one. I'm gonna check a couple more. So mine are done, but I like mine to look a little more brown. So what I'm gonna do is my timer. And this is a quick process, but I'm gonna put my oven on broil so it can actually brown the cheese and give it a crisp crust on top without burning it. So turn on to broil. I'll put my timer for 1 minute because this oven cooks really fast when it comes to broil. And I've had some bad experiences with broil on this oven. And while that's broiling, we will get our plating ready. That's how our meatballs came out. Now I'm going to plate our meatballs. Get that off of there. Gonna cap it with a little bit of our sauce. Give it a hint of mozzarella on top. little bit of fresh parsley. And we're done. That's simple. And it is the chicken Parmesan meatballs with zoodles. So everything in here is keto friendly except for the breadcrumbs that are in our meatballs. Again, if you want to be straight keto, use the pork skins ground up and you're good to go. But it's really, really tasty. Again, tweak the meatballs with anything you'd like to do. If you want to add more parsley, different type of seasoning, some Italian seasoning. There's no right or wrong. It's do you, whatever flavors work for your palate. Teresa, how's yours turn out?
Good. I'm still got my meatballs in the oven, but I did do the chicken. They're a little bit bigger too, but I'm doing zoodles as well. So
yeah, be sure you get them to 165 degrees.
Yeah, that's why I'm waiting an extra minute. So I haven't done my zoodles yet, but it smells amazing.
Right on.
I got my sister on the call too, Denise, for her first time, and so I don't know where.
All movies. Thanks for joining us again.
It's great, and I actually don't cook, don't know how to cook, and this was the easiest. My daughter was here right next to me and helping me, and oh my gosh, this was so easy. And as my sister will attest, I absolutely don't cook, and I just finished this meal.
Awesome. Yes, how's yours turn out? Yay! It's good.
I mean, we did. She just took it out of the oven, and I am just amazed. I actually did this.
Well, good. Are you still in Portland?
I'm in Reno, Nevada.
Okay, so I'm in Reno. When we're in Reno, we expect an invite over for dinner, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
But I'm going to join these every Sunday. This was so easy. I am so shocked, and I think they're shocked at me. I really seriously do not cook.
Follow me on YouTube, Cooking with Tree. There's other recipes there.
I will absolutely. I don't do social media quite well, but I will actually post on this because I need to say how easy this was to follow you.
Awesome. Well, thank you all for joining along. Enjoy a great week. Can I talk?
Come on.
Okay, I was sneaking a little bit of this. Enjoy a great week of cooking and bon appetit.
Thanks, Trina.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bon appetit.
Bye.